sorry that he can't be here with us today.
Wait, did you catch that? The energy at this NYC rally just hit an absolute fever pitch. Mayor Mamdani is bringing out the big guns to save his controversial grocery store plan. But is it all just political theater to hide a massive budget disaster? You need to see what's happening behind the scenes.
Jesus Christ.
Well, it wasn't depicted. It was me. I did post it, and I thought it was me as a doctor, and had to do with Red Cross as a Red Cross worker there, which we support. And only the fake news could come up with that one. So I just heard about it, and I said, how did they come up with that? It's supposed to be me as a doctor making people better, and I do make people better. I make people a lot better. As an example, the 11,900.
Look at how he handles this. The depiction of the president as a healer or a divine figure is a classic move in the digital culture war, but his explanation is what really lands. He's essentially reclaiming the narrative by calling it a Red Cross doctor image rather than a religious one. Did you notice how he immediately pivots to a personal interaction with a supporter whose husband is in treatment? That's tactical. It humanizes the meme and makes the critics look like they're overreacting. But the real heat here is the clash with Pope Leo. It's rare to see a political leader go toe-to-toe with the Vatican over crime and border policy. Most politicians would tread carefully with religious leaders, but here there's no apology in sight. He's doubling down on the law and order theme, using the lowest murder rates in a century as his shield. It's a masterclass in narrative disruption and distracting the media from other pressing issues.
Yeah, based on the allegations that have come out and on his own comments, where he seemed to have admitted some form of wrongdoing, though he didn't specify, I think he should probably resign. And I'll have to see evidence before I vote to expel. The allegations are incredibly serious, but I got to look at it very closely, because expelling a member of Congress is a big move. We've done it twice now in my career in Congress. Both times it was after the...
This is where the political machinery gets really interesting. Eric Swalwell dropping out of the California governor's race is a massive earthquake. But catch the hesitation from his own party members. Representative Adam Smith is playing the due process card, which feels like a very delicate tightrope walk. They're trying to balance the seriousness of the allegations with the precedent of expelling a sitting member. Look at the graphics used during that CNN segment. Google searches for Swalwell spiked by over 3,000% in California alone. That's pure political poison. When the public is digging that deep into your scandals, the establishment usually starts looking for an exit strategy. The speculation that this might be a coordinated effort to clear a crowded field for other favored candidates is a fascinating theory. In politics, timing is rarely a coincidence, and Swalwell's sudden fall from grace is perfectly timed for the upcoming primary cycle. It's a brutal reminder of how quickly the political winds can shift.
Well, I certainly think, given the people who have come forward, his former staffers, and raised these allegations, that they must be investigated and if found true. And I think we need to give the victims the benefit of the doubt. If found true, then he should resign.
Some of your colleagues, there's a growing number who are not waiting to see an investigation take place. They think in light of what has...
Look at the tension in this interview. Senator Jeanne Shaheen is clearly being put on the spot regarding the growing number of colleagues calling for Swalwell's immediate resignation. It's fascinating to watch how the party leadership tries to manage these internal crises. She's emphasizing the need for a real investigation, which is often political code for let's wait until the news cycle cools down. But the interviewer isn't letting it go. You can see the divide forming within the Democratic Party. The younger, more aggressive wing wants a clean break, while the veterans are worried about majority control in the House. With only a 2-seat majority, every single expulsion vote is a high-stakes gamble. The math in Congress right now is so tight that personal scandals aren't just HR issues. They are existential threats to party power. Did you catch how she pivoted to the constituents toward the end? It's a classic move to deflect the decision back onto the voters.
I am proud to announce that we will open every single one of these stores by the end of our first term. And the first one will open next year.
Wait, look at the staging here. Mayor Mamdani is celebrating his first 100 days by doubling down on a promise that most economists are calling a logistical nightmare. City-owned grocery stores in every borough? It sounds great for a campaign flyer, but the reality of urban retail is incredibly complex. Notice the signs in the crowd: childcare for all and lid on it. He's building a brand around being the socialist mayor, but he's doing it while staring down a massive budget deficit. As the analysts mentioned, this kind of experiment was tried in Kansas City, and it didn't end well. The margins in the grocery business are razor thin, usually around 1.5%. If the city can't manage its basic infrastructure efficiently, how are they going to manage the supply chain for milk and eggs? It's a bold experiment, but if it fails, it's the taxpayers who will be left holding the bag for a $30 million grocery bill.
I have thought often of the Margaret Thatcher quote. The problem with socialism is that you eventually run out of other people's money. If anything, my friend.
Catch the irony in this specific moment. Mamdani is actually referencing the famous Margaret Thatcher quote about socialism eventually running out of other people's money. He's trying to flip the script by suggesting that you need a socialist to clean up the mess. It's a cheeky move, but it highlights exactly why he's so polarizing. He's not just proposing policy, he's challenging the fundamental economic philosophy of the city. Look at the people behind him. They are all in on this narrative. But while the rhetoric is strong, the commentators are pointing out a harsh reality. He's facing roadblocks from Governor Kathy Hochul, who isn't interested in raising taxes on the wealthy to fund these programs. Without that tax revenue, these grocery stores might never get past the end-of-term deadline he just announced. He's setting himself up for a massive win or a very public failure. That was a wild ride through the latest headlines. What do you think? Is the NYC grocery plan a stroke of genius or a disaster in the making? Drop your thoughts in the comments and hit subscribe for more surgical breakdowns.